Paul Arriola. And Herc, this one was dramatic, especially the last 48 hours. So he was linked to Club America in Mexico. He was also linked to Expansion Charlotte and FC Dallas in Major League Soccer. Some people thought he might stay at DC United, but in the end, Arriola traded to FC Dallas for, get this, an MLS record, $2 million in general allocation money. Now, before we break this all down, let's hear from Arriola. This is what he said he wanted before the trade went down. Here it is.
I won't go into too much detail, but you know, this is the most important year of my career, and you know, I'm, you know, like most players, always looking for you know, the best opportunity in situation to be the most successful in. You know, I still have a great relationship with DC. I'm still currently a DC United player, so if things were to move on, then, you know, obviously it'll be mutual, and if not, you know, I'll be at training camp as soon as camp is over and ready to roll.
That, Herc, of course, before Thursday's reports broke. Interesting, this from Stephen Goff of the Washington Post, who was reporting that Arriola had withdrawn interest in going to Club America on Wednesday night and was specifically asking for an MLS destination only. Now, Arriola seemed to refute that in his response to Goff's tweet, which, as you can see right there, he calls on the legend that is Nick Young, saying what? So, Herc, help me out here. What's going on here, and why does it feel like Kellyn Acosta 2.0?
It does feel like funny money, right? Let me tell you what I do know. I was one of the guys reporting, I was one of the few reporting what was going on from the Club America side. Club America had initially asked for a loan. That was shot down. Then the talk turned into, well, permanent transfer. But America, when they started, it's like, we need our winger ASAP. That was 2 weeks ago. That is not ASAP. They kept America lingering around 1, 2, 3, 4 offers. It didn't get done. America then said, you know what, I'm sorry, we have to pull out. America is now involved in another player transfer. And all of a sudden, we're hearing from Goff, and we're hearing from others that it's Arriola who wanted out. The reality is, it seems like DC United leveraged Club America to up the price on Charlotte and on Dallas.
So you say they were never going to sell to Club America?
I mean, I wouldn't say never, because there are no absolutes when it comes in this sport. But we've covered this here. These clubs aren't incentivized to sell out of house. Not if you can have GAM or TAM or this funny money going around and up the price. And this is a record price of GAM, $2 million for Paul Arriola. It's a situation where, if you're asking me, I think they leveraged Club America, and that's what happened there.
I think it's a bad look for DC United. I think it's a bad look for the league too, because this is now in the span of a week, Herc, the second player, not just any player, right? The second national team player to come out and basically say, I wanted to leave Major League Soccer and I couldn't do it. I wasn't allowed to do it. My wishes weren't respected. That's not a good look for the league. That's not the message I think that the league wants to be sending to players who could be viewed at domestically as stars, guys like Paul Arriola and Kellyn Acosta. I don't think it's good for MLS. That's kind of the off-field part of it, Herc. What about the on-field questions here, though? And those surround Paul Arriola and what this means for him in a World Cup year, right? Not just what it means for his career in a World Cup year, but specifically if America was actually the better spot for him to be leading up to Qatar. What do you think?
I don't know if America's the better spot. I mean, on paper, it's Club America, so...
Well, you don't think America's a better spot than FC Dallas?
Well, hold on a second. On paper, it looks like a great landing spot, right? It's Club America. Club America is arguably bigger than any club within Major League Soccer, historically, in CONCACAF, today, whatever you want. So you could say, be a great fit. But I don't know if Santiago Solari really wanted Paulo Arriola that bad. I don't know if Paulo Arriola would have really played a lot in Club America. This is also isn't your grandfather's Club America.
You don't think he would be a day in, day out starter? Because that's what I'm assuming. If they made 4 offers for a guy and they need goals and he's going to supposedly provide them, he was going to be a starter, Herc.
Yeah.
You don't think so? You don't think Paul Arriola is good enough to be a day in, day out starter for America, a national team or a U.S. national team starter?
This American, the way they play, I don't think anybody's an out-and-out starter. There's a rotation going on there. There's certainly a lot of things that with the defensive scheme that Solari employs. What I will say is, you look at FC Dallas, Well, FC Dallas, new coach, Nico Esteves. Nico Esteves was with Greg Berhalter in Columbus. He was the number 2, or he was one of the assistant coaches, I should say, excuse me, at the U.S. men's national team. He's now the head coach of FC Dallas. He's in a system that plays exactly a 4-3-3, or will play a 4-3-3 like the U.S. men's national team. He's now with a coach who knows him, who will value him, and I assume he's going to get a better deal. I assume all this gam was for something because they see him as an integral piece. And there is no question mark of his playing time or him playing in FC Dallas. I don't like that, but I think going to Club America wasn't as a sure thing for playing time as people think.
Man, but there's no question about where the better environment is, right? I mean, Club America's roster compared to FC Dallas roster. Day in and day out in training, he's going to get better competition. Liga MX is better than Major League Soccer. So week in and week out, he's going to be getting better competition. Paul Arriola's not a young buck. He's not old. He's 26. Yeah, he's 26 right now, right? So this may not be his last shot at a World Cup, but it is his best shot at a World Cup.
Okay.
Kirk, I would have thought that.
Let me ask you. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Because that's a great point. You said this is his best shot at a World Cup. So if your national team coach has proven that he's going to give you opportunities with Major League Soccer level competition, why take the flyer and go out? I'm not saying that's a correct decision for any player, but if the ultimate goal for a player, if the ultimate dream is the World Cup,
I mean, this is the second time on this show, and Ricardo Pepi was the other example, where we're telling guys to take the safe route to the World Cup, Herc. Is that how you did it when you went to Puebla? Was that the safe route?
Nothing safe about that. It was my only shot.